Pcmcia Cards. In this video, we are going to see about the Pcmcia Cards. Personal Computer Memory Card Industry Association cards, that is Pcmcia, are expansion cards added to the laptop system to provide functionality to the laptop. A Pcmcia card, also known as a PC card, is a credit card-sized device inserted into a Pcmcia slot, usually on the side of the laptop. It allows to expand on the laptop's capabilities such as a network card, modem, memory, hard disk speed, or a wireless network cards. The term PC card is being used as a replacement to Pcmcia card because of the ongoing changes in the technology and because it is much easier to remember. However, PC card should not be confused with a PCI card. This technology is becoming replaced by the new Express card standard. Pcmcia Ethernet LAN card. When the portable computer returns to the office, there is usually a gap between what is on the portable and what is on the desktop machine. One alternative is to use a docking station to allow the notebook to function as both a portable and a desktop system. The other alternative is to make the portable computer network ready so that it can plug into the network in the office. There are PC card network adapters that can be used with a network socket device to enable the portable to be connected to the office network. The socket device has internal circuitry that prevents the OpenNet connection from adversely affecting the network when the portable is removed. Some network adapters use the system's parallel port and a pocket LAN adapter to connect portable to the network. The LAN adapter works between the network, the computer and its printer as shown in figure 4.2. Notebook computers can also be used in dial-up networking environments. Therefore, several newer portable models include built-in modems as a standard equipment. Other portables can be configured for dial-up operations by simply installing a PC card modem. These modems slide into Type 2 Pcmcia slots and connect to telephone jack through a special phone cable. The cable plugs into a small slot on the card and into the phone jack using a standard RJ11 connector. Other PC card modems possess a pop-out RJ11 port that can be used with standard telephone cables instead of a proprietary cable like the one just described. Pcmcia wireless cards. In this video, we are going to see about the Pcmcia wireless cards. Notebook computers are natural selections for use as wireless networking clients. Because they are portable, they can be used anywhere within any wireless access point's hotspot. Many enterprises are creating hotspots to enable traveling computer users to access their access point for a fee. The wireless PC card adapter slides into one of the notebook's Pcmcia slots and should be auto-detected by the system. The card communicates with a remote access point through the embedded antenna that sticks out of the computer's PC card slot. The device should be capable of functioning on the wireless LAN, provided that the card's driver and the operating system's networking components have been set up properly for communications. Installing wireless networking in portables. Notebook computers typically employ a wireless Pcmcia adapter to communicate with the network's access point. For the most part, the installation process involves inserting the wireless card in the Pcmcia slot and supplying the OEM driver from the manufacturer's CD. Part of configuring the driver involves identifying the name of the access point that the card should use. Afterward, you need to configure networking support in the operating system. Type 802.11b cards have a limited range of operation that is about 500 feet. This estimation relies on a clear line-of-sight pathway existing between the card and the access point. The signals used under the wireless specification do not travel well through objects. In addition, if the card is used in a multiple access point environment, it will always try to communicate with the access point it has been configured to use. To switch to another access point, this setting must be reconfigured. Many wireless configuration applications include a built-in power meter program that shows the relative signal strength being received from the access point. When you are positioning a computer that has a wireless network card, you should use this tool to maximize the location of the computer. Likewise, if you're operating in a multiple access point environment, you can use this tool to identify the best access point to use in a given location. Pcmcia card types. In this video, we are going to see about Pcmcia card types. Three types of Pcmcia card currently exist. All three PC card types adhere to the same credit card size form factor of 2.12 inches by 3.37 inches. However, they are created in three thicknesses. Type 1 Pcmcia Type 1 cards introduced in 1990 are 3.3 mm thick and work as memory expansion units. Type 2 in 1991, Pcmcia Type D cards were introduced. They are 5 mm thick and support virtually any traditional expansion function that is typically a modem or LAN card. Except removable hard drive units, Type 2 slots are backward compatible, so Type 1 cards will work in them. Type 3. Currently, Pcmcia Type 3 cards are being produced. These cards are 10.5mm thick and are intended primarily for use with removable hard drives. Both Type 1 and Type 2 cards can be used in a Type 3 slot. All three PC card types employ a 68-pin slide-in pin and socket arrangement. They can all be used with 8-bit or 16-bit data bus machines and operate on plus 5 volt or plus 3.3 volt supplies. The design of the cards enables them to be installed in the computer while it is turned on and running. Most portable designs include only two Type 2 size PC card slots. These slots can physically accommodate two Type 1 or Type 2 cards or a single Type 3 card. Type 3 cards use only one of the two 68-pin JEIDA connectors but take up the entire opening. The Pcmcia interface is designed so that cards can be inserted into the unit while it is turned on, that is, hot swappable. Other common PC card adapters include fax or modems, SCSI adapters, network adapters, and IDE host adapters. The Pcmcia standard provides for up to 255 adapters, each capable of working with up to 16 cards. Infrared ports. In this video, we are going to see about infrared ports. Increasing numbers of people are getting fed up with being tethered to their computers by cords. As a result, many computers, that is especially portable computing devices like laptops and PDAs, are now using infrared ports to send and receive data. An infrared, that is IR port, is a small port on the infrared band. The infrared port itself is a small, dark square of plastic that is usually a very dark maroon and can typically be found on the front of a PC or on the side of a laptop or portable. Infrared ports send and receive data at a very slow rate, that is, the maximum speed on PC infrared ports is less than 4 Mbps. Most infrared ports on PCs that have them support the Infrared Data Association, that is IRDA standard, which outlines a standard way of transmitting and receiving information by infrared so that devices can communicate with one another. Docking stations. In this video, we are going to see about docking stations. A docking station or docking port is a specialized structure that permits the notebook unit to be inserted into it. When the notebook is inside, the docking port extends its expansion bus so that the notebook can be used with a collection of desktop devices such as an AC power source, a full-sized keyboard and CRT monitor, as well as modems, mice, and standard PC port connectors. The notebook and docking station communicate with each other through a special docking port connector in the rear of the notebook. When the notebook is inserted into the docking station, an extension bus plugs into the expansion connector in the notebook. Most docking stations provide standard full-size expansion slots so that non-notebook peripheral devices such as network adapters and sound cards can be used with the system. Docking stations may also provide additional Pcmcia slots for the notebook computer. When the notebook is in the docking station, its normal input or output devices, that is keyboard, display and pointing device, are usually disabled and the docking station's peripherals take over. The docking port connection in the docking station must correctly align with the connector in the notebook. The notebook unit must also fit correctly within the docking station opening. Because no standards exist for this system, the chances of two different manufacturers locating the connectors in the same place and designing the same case outline are very small. USB port. In this video, we are going to see about USB port. Although the virtual machines do not have universal serial bus, that is USB ports, the host computer can take advantage of these. Attaching RUSC drives or memory sticks to a host computer's USB ports will enable the host to share the connected disk resources with the virtual machines. This is the only way a virtual machine can access a USB device. The virtual machines must be powered off or restarted when the USB device is connected to the host in order to be seen and utilized by the virtual machine. But the machine has to be turned down when the USB device is inserted. Failure to do so will leave a message that the server cannot find the disk. OTG USB. In this video, we are going to see about OTG USB. USB on the go, also known as USB OTG, is a specification that allows the USB devices such as digital audio players, printers or mobile phones to act as a host. This capability allows some other USB devices like a USB flash drive, digital camera, mouse, or keyboard to be attached to them while allowing them to function normally. This kind of capability enables number of existing features. For example, a digital camera can directly be connected to a printer that is acting as host for printing pictures, or audio player that is acting as host can be connected to cell phone and download songs, etc. So fundamentally, use of the USB OTG allows these devices to switch back and forth between the roles of host and client devices. For instance, a mobile phone may read from removable media as the host device or behaves as a USB mass storage device when connected to a host computer. Motivation and protocol overview of USB OTG. USB, the most common interface today, was originally designed as an interface between PCs and peripherals by definition. USB communication occurs between a host and a peripheral. The original intent was to place the heavier workload on the PC, that is host, and to allow USB peripherals to be fairly simple. Accordingly, the USB specification requires that PCs do most of the work, such as, for example, to provide power to peripherals and to support all defined speeds and data flow types. As computing resources became less expensive, the line between PCs and other products blurred, and therefore many devices that are not PCs in the classic sense have a need to connect directly to peripherals. Printers connect directly with cameras, for example, or mobile phones may need to connect to USB headsets and so on. So, to enable these devices added the USB host function. However, they needed to function in ways that differ from standard PC USB host. Although they need to provide host capability for some devices, they are not required to support the full range of USB peripherals. For example, connecting a camera to a printer makes a lot of sense, but the printer manufacturers may not think it is quite as important for the printer to support a USB GPS dongle. So these devices acting as USB hosts are defined as targeted host. A targeted host is a USB host that supports a specific targeted set of peripherals. The developer of each targeted host product defines a set of supported peripherals on a targeted peripherals list, that is TPL. A targeted host needs to provide only the power bus speeds, data flow types, and so on that the peripherals on its TPL require. Embedded host. An embedded host, that is EH product, provides targeted host functionality over one or more standard A or micro AB receptacles. EH products may also offer USB peripheral capabilities delivered separately via one or more Type B receptacles. On the go, an OTG product is a portable device that uses a single micro AB receptacle, that is, and no other USB receptacles to operate at times as a USB targeted host and at times as a USB peripheral. OTG devices will operate as a standard peripheral when connected to a standard USB host. OTG devices can also be attached to each other. The USB OTG and EH supplement to the USB 2.0 specification introduced three new communication protocols. Mini USB. In this video, we are going to see about Mini USB. A smaller USB port used on small devices such as USB hubs, PDAs, digital cameras, and phones is known as a mini USB port. There are several types of smaller USB ports: Mini A, Mini AB, Micro B, and Micro AB. The Mini or Micro AB ports accept either a Mini or Micro A or a Mini or Micro B cable end. the standard Type A USB port found on a PC and the Mini B and Micro B ports found on mobile devices. The micro USB ports are now a standard interface for smartphones. HDMI port. In this video, we are going to see about HDMI port. HDMI transmits both digital video and audio that is not analog and was designed to be used by home theater equipment. The HDMI standards allow for several types of HDMI connectors. The best known, which is used on most computers and televisions, is the Type A 19-pin HDMI connector. Small mobile devices can use a smaller Type C 19-pin HDMI mini connector, also called the mini HDMI connector. A cable with both connectors that is useful when connecting some devices like a smartphone to a computer. HDMI to Dvi D Cable. Because HDMI does not transmit analog data, the connector works only on Dvi D ports, not Dvi I ports. The maximum length of an HDMI cable depends on the quality of the cable. No maximum length has been specified.